Tell that to your wife who's like, why do you listen to those guys? Because they're manly, wife. Anyway. Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to. But you probably should, and you probably are, and that's why we like you. This week on Chill Filtered, we are going to be drinking Rebel 10-year single barrel bourbon. Really excited about that. I think it should be good. But before I get to the whiskey, before I get to anything, before I even get to asking how Robby's doing, or Robel, 42 years doing.
Robble.
Robble. I like Robble. Robble's good.
Robble.
Yeah, let's talk about some business. Okay, so this I checked this recently. We have a lot of ratings on Apple Podcasts, but we don't have like as many reviews. So if you've been listening and you've never gone on to Apple or like the iTunes or whatever the podcast thing is, Apple Podcasts, and left us a review, please do us a favor. Leave us a rating and a review. And
Cole wants a review. Can you give the boy a review?
But that's the way you can support us, and that's all the business I got today. Otherwise, Robby, how you doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm in like it's been a weird week for me where it's like no huge stressors, but it's like I was telling Chelsea this morning, I'm like, it has not been a long week. It's not been a bad week. It's just one of those weeks where you feel like you can't get ahead, you know? And like, I don't have I have lots of small tasks to take care of at work, lots of small tasks to take care of at home. I'm like, I just feel like it's one of those, just a little overwhelmed. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do first? If I got time and I can get this things rolling, like I'll be fine. It's just kind of a weird week, you know? I don't know. Or we were back to chilly again. We were like in the 40s and 50s for like a week and a half, and now we're like back down to like lows of 9 and 3 at night.
Oh wow, that's cold. Yeah,
getting chilly. But I like it. I like that. I feel like we haven't had that cold weather, and I love. Excuse me.
Filtered.
I love one of my favorite things is getting like my warm coat, like my big puffy marmot coat. My bubble goose, and at night, and getting my gloves on, my hat on, and taking Moose for a cold walk. I don't know. There's something about
a brisk walk.
Yeah, and it's like cold outside, and so no one's outside, and it's quiet, and you get to hear Moose tooting the whole walk. It's
Moose toots.
Moose toots are that fat dog.
Aren't tooting great.
That it's cute. He makes a gross toot cute because that dog is adorable. But no, man, I don't know. Like I think I'm all right, but I'm feeling kind of stressed lately.
There's something. There's something to be said. Yeah, about. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead first.
Something to be said about not progressing in the tasks you have that can affect your perspective of your week or your day or whatever. Yeah. I get that.
But we booked in. Well, we got to pay the credit cards off now, but we booked our Mexico vacation, so we're pretty excited about that. Doing
what is that?
When?
Yeah.
Or what? Mexico? What? I'll answer the what first.
So it's like it's a little bit past Virginia.
It's like if Virginia had a good side, it'd be in that part of Virginia.
Yeah, but it's basically just the opposite of Virginia.
No, it's I think like the 17th of June to like we're doing a whole week there, doing 7 days. So something like that. So I'm excited. That'll be fun. We're going with our good friends and all their kids and stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Got to get in bikini shape though, because that's all I wear in Mexico. So be glad I'm not coming to Virginia because I'd be walking around in bikinis all day long.
I would take bikini Robby any day.
Okay, let me ask you this too, because I was thinking about about stress.
Yeah.
Are you a little stressed about Matt Madness?
No, I think I might be later next week or later this week, but I am not stressed as of right now. I'm just excited. I guess I hope.
Oh, there's two
I want to have fun. No. I just want to have fun and like. I think it sounds silly. It sounds even fake, but that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to have fun and drink some good stuff and joke around with the boys and girls if there are girls.
That's a good point. I I think I need to look at it from just the fun perspective. I keep thinking like
fun.
I'm putting pressure on myself. I want to do kind of well, but I think just showing up for fun. Yeah. Just gotta have fun.
Yeah. I'm not expecting to even make it to the next round. I just want to have fun and like be myself.
Chill filtered.
And I think I'm a fun guy.
Have fun. You are a fun guy who asks great questions. That's what it is.
That'll be it. Like half the time I'll be like, so Matt, tell me about this. And he'll be like, wow, that's a great question.
You tell me, what do you think the proof, Matt, what is the proof of this whiskey? What do you think?
I had a kid that Matt Porter.
I had a student who would do that all the time. Like, hey buddy, what's the 8 times 5? Good question. What is 8 times 5?
That's great.
I'm like, oh, I love the balls on you, man. Like,
yeah, seriously.
Not literally, figuratively. I am a good teacher. I don't cross boundaries.
Teacher. Yeah. Good boundaries.
That's a good way to think of it. Just have fun. I also thought, I was at the grocery store the other day and I thought of something you could do in your background. You could just get a little desk about yay high table.
Yeah.
And I think we need to do like Bush's baked bean pyramid of a bunch of different kinds of Bush's baked beans.
That's not a bad idea at all.
And then
I have a long table, so on one side I'll put bottles, and then the other side I'll put Bush's baked bean pyramid.
Exactly. And I think, I think you don't even bring it up. You just
just let it be. Yeah.
What are all those beans behind you? This is a whiskey podcast. This is a whiskey YouTube channel. Why are we talking beans? Beans? We really talking beans?
Yeah.
I mean beans.
Not a game. Not a game. Beans.
So.
No. I'm gonna get a big table and I'm gonna get like a little tablecloth for it, and at least half of it will be bottles on one side or the other. So,
and the bean pyramid on the other. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Sure.
Perfect.
So,
what are you? How you doing, buddy?
Looking forward to. No, I'll get there. But looking forward to Matt Madness. It would be like it's like it is a dream to even be on a first round of it, and cool. I think if we make it to the second round, that's icing on the cake. But I'm just
bushes on the beans.
Bushes on those beans. So, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I was really excited to come home from work today because there was a package waiting once I arrived, and this package.
Whoa, Cole, put your pants on.
Oh no! They're on. They're on. I promise.
If you're watching YouTube, you see it's not his pants
you'll see. I kept my pants on. A. Smith Bowman Cask Strength Batch number 2. Nice. So it's a funny story how we got back onto not back on. We were always technically on Buffalo Trace's media list, but my email is now working. That's the story. So that was kind of funny. That happened this week.
Did we get BTAC and we just didn't know it?
I didn't even want to ask. Don't even want to know. We might have.
I do want to know.
Maybe I'll ask, but maybe I'll ask, but it's too late now, of course. But there's something there where it would suck if we were on that. If we did, because I did actually send out the email, but just no response. So, but that was not because of them; it was because of my email. Sadly, well, maybe I'll find out. But
if you weren't the hamster turning the wheel to this whole game we got going here, I might be disappointed in you. But Cole really is the one that keeps this thing moving along. I just show up and drink.
I'm excited for we're going to be couriering out this. Hopefully this weekend, I'll be putting together all the courier batches for the next 3 months of drink-alongs. So I'm excited about that.
How does one participate in those drink-alongs?
If you want to participate in this drink-alongs, you could either. Oh, speaking of which, we had a killer drink-along last week. Like it was like
we haven't
the best ever.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, have we?
Yeah, we had a great turnout.
It was so much fun. I had such a good time. Although
a lot of comments, a lot of fun. People were commenting to each other, which is like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But
I do feel bad. We do need to issue an apology. John friggin' Voldemort Hughes. Sorry, we messed things up.
No, he said it was his fault.
Oh, it was?
He said it was a time change thing. He assumed it was a different time zone. But John, sorry it didn't work out. But I'm glad you could watch it later.
Yes.
And then also
we were there without you, babe.
Yeah, but it's always fun with John too. But it was popping on that Sunday. Speaking
of
popping,
pop.
I'm gonna
what are you entry buzzing on?
Kill this entry buzz right here. Bowmore 15 Darkest. This is probably the oldest bottle on my shelf in terms of years that I've had it on my shelf. I got this in 2015, so it's been on my shelf for 8 years now.
Good math.
And it's a good stinking Isla Scotch. And but the funny thing was, we learned on that episode, which had to be first 20 episodes where we actually did drink this one. We learned that they actually add caramel coloring, and they call it 15 Darkest because they're like assume you like the sherry finish on it. But they actually add color to it, which you can do in Scotland as long as it's like flavorless caramel coloring. So otherwise, yeah, things are good. Things are chill.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, in a good mood.
Can I tell you one other problem I have?
Tell me.
I have had so much paperwork this year more than ever, and like I don't know if anyone else gets this. I think it's from using my mouse, but my mouse arm, my right arm, right inside my scapula is sore all the friggin' time. And I can't get the soreness out. And except for Sunday. On Sunday, I don't use a computer all weekend.
Deltoid or like behind that?
Right? If you feel your
in the
scapula, it's like to the right of the spine, the left of the scapula, if you're my eyeballs and nervous system facing out.
Yeah.
If you're your eyeballs and nervous system facing in, it is the left of my spine, the right of my scapula. You ever get that?
I've never had that issue.
I don't know. I think it's from using my mouse because it's.
Does it hurt when you use your mouse?
I can a little bit. Yeah, it's a little. It's a little bit like, oh, this is sore, and then it's hard to stretch. I like to stretch. I look like a dummy. I got to bend all the way over, like put my head between my knees, fill my lungs up with air, and then twist. And like that's the only way I can stretch it. It's killing me.
I got to stretch more. I've been starting to work out this week. Like I did cardio 3 days since Monday already.
At the gym or where at?
No, one was at the gym. One was in the neighborhood. 2 were in the neighborhood, rather.
So good question for you. When you work out at the gym, do people question your wearing of jeans?
No, they question that how good my questions are.
Oh,
but then I shut them down with some really good questions. So
because you pull your questions out, a queue of question 5x7 notes out of your jeans. What seriously though? What do you wear? What do you know? I really do want to know.
I wear gym shorts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I just assumed you.
Even now, I'm wearing khakis, but that's because I have to. But tomorrow is Jeans Friday because we always get Jeans Friday at work,
and that's the day Cole's like on his best game. He just walks in, finger gunning people. Like, "What's up, guys? How's it going?"
Yeah. It's like, I walk in and the whole room turns.
It's just like, look at that.
Yeah, I get a few of
those jeans.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, wow, talk about a trench of swampy goodness. Was he walking outside in 100+ degree heat in those jeans before he walked in this building? Who knows? So,
Mean Gene Sebald.
Mean Gene Sebald. So,
do you know who Mean Gene is?
No, is that someone?
Mean Gene, I think it's Okerlund. He was a wrestling announcer. Ask Heather, she'll know.
Yeah, she'll know. She'll be like, totally. Yeah, she's very familiar with the WWE.
She'll be like, you don't know that, Cole? Suck it.
Yeah, exactly. I have a great wife.
You do.
What do you say we go for a walk and maybe I'll put on my jeans.
Put on your walking jeans.
My walking jeans.
That sounds like a Neil Diamond song.
Oh yeah. Or like a what's her name? Now I've lost the momentum, but who's the country woman who everyone loves?
Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton. Sounds like a Dolly Parton song.
Put on your walking jeans. Let the people know you mean it's time for a break.
And we'll be right back. right, we're back with Chill Filtered. Today we're drinking Rebel 10-year single barrel. Yeah, it was a crazy walk. Real quick note to get to. Shout out to Paul Clarkson, our newest Patreon member, for sending us the sample we're drinking today. So there we go.
Baller move, Paul.
Baller ding.
Or should we say Pauler move?
Pauler baller. Mm-hmm. So Rebel or Rebel Yell
Paul
is
was the
made
bearer of gifts. Paul Bear. Also, the Undertaker's ringside associate.
I don't know any of this stuff. How do you remember all this?
Because it's not something my wife asked me to do or remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
Yep.
Yeah, but my wife would. She'd be like, "You need to watch this WWE thing." Anyway, Rebel or Rebel Yell, made by Lux Row Distillers, which is owned by Luxco, the larger company, and these days it's owned by another company. But we'll get to that.
Fake.
This isn't our first Luxco product on the podcast.
Fake.
Many moons ago, episode 86, we drank Yellowstone Limited Edition. Even further back, episode 63.
What was my first episode?
81.
Okay, so I did drink the Yellowstone, and it was yummy.
Speaking of which, Robby, you at this point,
240?
episode 240, you have been host twice as long as Adam.
Speaking of which, suck it, Adam.
I was waiting for that. So even further back, episode 63.
Love you, Adam.
Yeah.
We
drank Old Ezra 7-year barrel strength. And even further back, episode 42, we drank David Nicholson Reserve, all Luxco products. And they actually make minor case rye, which we haven't had on the podcast, but we have had it on our shelf for a while. We've been trying to drink it. But let's dig into Luxco/Lux Row Distillers a little bit. And we'll actually talk about a little bit about Rebel Bourbon as well. So Luxco actually started as a company many years ago. It was founded in 1958, but was not always called Luxco. It started in St. Louis and was originally called David Sherman Corporation. Started by two guys, David Sherman Sr. and a guy named Paul A. Lux. David Sherman was Paul Lux's father-in-law, apparently.
What was David Sherman's middle name?
No middle name, but he was a senior.
I bet it was P.
David P. Sherman.
Richard P. Sherman's son. There you go. Cole, this is the manliest podcast, right? Like you don't know the wrestling stuff, but you're like Finding Nemo.
Tell that to your wife, who's like, "Why do you listen to those guys?" Because they're manly, wife. Anyway, at first it was a private label supplier for Missouri and Arkansas, but not too long after it started, they really started focusing on spirits. In 1960, they owned one brand, and that was Juarez Tequila. In the early 80s, they started buying more and more spirits brands, and then in 1980, they bought the Everclear brand from American Distilling. In 1999, they bought Rebel Yell from Diageo. And in 2004, the Lux side of the family business bought out the other 50% of the split from the Sherman side. And in 2006, they renamed the company Luxco. And recently, in 2018, they ventured into distilling their own stuff. Not just representing the brands, but distilling. And they started Lux Row Distillers in Bardstown, Kentucky, an 18,000 square foot distillery in the heart of bourbon country, with 6 barrel warehouses. They are responsible for making Rebel Bourbon, Blood Oath, Ezra Brooks, David Nicholson, and Davies County Bourbon. And in 2021, they were bought out by MGPI, Midwest Grain Products and Ingredients. It was a huge move by MGPI or MGP or Ross and Squibb, if you're more on the up to the modern news. But because MGP really, it was a huge move because MGP really stepped forward into the the branding world. They did have a few brands like Rossville Union or George Remus, but they were much more known for being the source of tons of other whiskeys, ranging from like Smooth Ambler to Whistle Pig to many more. And they bought Lux Co. for $475 million. And that included everything from Ezra Brooks to The Quiet Man, which is an Irish brand.
I like that.
And then to Yellowstone, which is made at a different distillery, actually. It's at the Limestone Branch Distillery. But they bought it out. And actually, what we're drinking today as well, Rebel Bourbon. So they took over that. So now Rebel or Rebel Yell used to be produced under contract by Heaven Hill. But it is now made at the Lux Row Distillers. But get this, before it was at Lux Row, or before it was made at Heaven Hill, it was a Stitzel Weller product. And it started as a brand at Stitzel Weller. And apparently it was started by a guy named Charles Farnsley, who I wonder if he's related to Alex Farnsley, who was involved with the Stitzel Weller. I bet he was. But anyway.
They got the same last name.
Charles Farnsley was formerly the mayor of Louisville. And he wanted a limited batch bourbon with an exclusive distribution to the South. And that's why the name is Rebel Yell. So it was definitely a weeded mash bill if it came from Stitzel Weller. And it still is a weeded mash bill bourbon. At least their new stuff is. Their mash bill is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. So let's talk about this specific bottle of Rebel Yell, or Rebel, either way, 10-year single barrel. It is 10 years old, obviously. It is a single barrel, obviously by the name. 100 proof. It is sourced for sure. If you think about it, Lux Row Distillers hasn't been around for 10 years yet. So if you do the math, they had to have sourced this. Like I said, though.
Sourced.
Yeah. No. But yes, for sure. Like I said, it is a weeded bourbon mash bill, but we don't know the exact ratio because what they're making now is different from what they sourced with. So it very well might be MGP that's providing the mash bill. Who knows? But I didn't find out. Total wine price about $70, $69.99. So let's get into this.
Before we get
pour it out for the homies.
Pauler, the baller, ringside bear, Paul Bear, the good gifts. Oh gosh, I gotta refocus this. Look at the detail.
And he gave us a like a tab to rip for the tape around it.
Look at that.
Did you get
it's got like a
tab? Oh yeah, he got like the Lux Row logo on it.
And it has the barrel, filled, the ABV. Like this is like some of the best packaging.
Ooh, that is a good nose.
Let's go down on record. Paul's got one of the best packages in the whole Chill Filter community.
Yeah, that's true. That's what happens when you're a Patreon subscriber.
And this sucker's filled to the brim.
Yeah, what a baller.
There's like no room left. Oh, geez Louise.
It smells really good. Let me actually get some notes from it. But
oh man,
I love the nose.
It's great, really nose. Sweet, bubblegum, really crisp. Okay, I got I thought it was gonna go medicinal, but then it went sweeter. So I'm gonna go for another snifferoo.
Little bit of peanuts, but a lot of bubblegum, in my opinion.
That's part of the game. A little bit of nut, mostly bubblegum.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's nut bubblegum. That was a nickname in college. Oh wow! It all comes together with that bubblegum game you were telling me about.
Yeah, that's what I was referring.
Okay.
A little bit of nut, but mostly bubblegum. Yeah. I do get a faint medicinal note to it, but it's still really sweet. I can get behind the like bubblegum, like Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba. Yeah. And I'm excited. I am interested to see kind of where this goes with water and ice, because I feel like it may not be as the water or ice kills the medicinal. This might be one of the best noses we've had in a while. Go for it.
The nose is very different than the palate. To me, it had a little bubblegum on the finish, but it was like the alcohol burn was a little stronger than I expected, but it wasn't that bad. But it was a little oaky up front.
Yeah, earthy.
Yeah, earthy oaky. But I dig the finish, especially. I gotta get a little more.
So far, not a fan.
Oh.
It's definitely oaky, earthy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting a lot of medicinal, and then like a little bit of that corn nut.
Yeah, I get a little corn there. Yeah, it's weird. I'm getting a mixture of bubblegum and oak, which isn't what I expected going in from the nose.
Yeah, nose-wise, I would have thought this would have been more prominently sweet.
I was thinking like Buffalo Trace sweetness, like yeah. And it's like sweet. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the oak takes over a little bit compared to something like I was saying like Buffalo Trace.
To me, it's sweet like a bad cough syrup. Like they tried to make it taste good, but it's hard. Nose-wise, I was really impressed with it. Palate-wise, so far, I'm gonna go with my second sip. Maybe I'm changing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bitterness too. It's very slight, and it comes with that oakiness. But I think this is. It's funny. I want it to be better. I definitely want it to be better because the nose was fantastic.
This reminds me of Rittenhouse Rye.
9+.
It's very Rittenhouse Rye without the little bit of spice. Way too earthy, way too bitter.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing because the bubblegum was a great note. Bubblegum was really sweet. But a little disappointed, especially comparing where the nose started.
Yeah.
I should start doing my drops like this and look like a chemist.
Yeah, you do look like a chemist.
I feel like a chemist.
Yeah.
I feel like a chemist.
Chemistry this. Well, I give it the old Matt job.
Chemistry that. The old spin J, making it dizzy.
Great nose with water. Like fantastic nose with water. It has no over oakness.
Oh my gosh.
It is bitterness. It is such a good nose.
Yeah, took the medicinal out. It is definitely bubblegum sweet. Yeah. It's like it's not Hubba Bubba.
Great nose.
I was wrong on Hubba Bubba. It was Extra. What's Extra's version of a bubblegum? You know what I'm talking about? It's got the it's foil covered. It's not maybe.
But juicy
fruit is more juicy fruit.
Bubblegummy.
But they have a bubblegum flavor for like extra gum or something like that. And that's kind of where it's at. Where it smells like fake sugar kind of. It's bubblegum but with fake sugar. That's kind of where I'm getting with this. Yeah. Which is I like it a lot. It's an interesting nose.
It's very interesting how different the nose, like how the nose didn't set you up at all for the palate. I think the palate is not better than the palate with neat. I think it got worse. But it's got a weird lightness, but the bitterness shows up, the oakiness shows up too much, and the finish kind of dies off, in my opinion, with the palate.
I am grateful to try it because genuinely thought I was going to like it. I do not like this so far.
Really? Yeah, you're liking it a lot more than I. You're not liking it a lot more than I am. I think it's all right.
I didn't have much,
but not with the water. Either. The water gets worse the more I sip it.
No, like with water, it hits way too earthy, way too bitter, way too medicinal, which is like are all things that you can put up with. Yeah. If there's something else there, but when like those are your main notes you're getting, I can't do it.
Oh, how's that for chemistry?
It was a peat. Adam couldn't do scotches, right? He couldn't do peaty.
He didn't like peaty scotches,
and he would like kind of refuse. Like I am almost.
He just never got past the doctor's office Band-Aid medicinal.
Yeah, I'm almost ready to refuse. Hey, I got a problem with my ice this week. They're all frozen together because Juniper and Finley decided they were going to take toilet paper, write on it with marker, strain that, put it under the sink, strain that color out into a Ziploc bag, and then freeze it. Now, I knew they were making the bags. I didn't realize they freeze it. And then they leaked into the ice tray, and they're all stuck together and slightly discolored. So,
I will say, trust Robby's.
I will say,
you're like, wow, it tastes like toilet paper.
Toilet paper marker.
Yeah.
On that note, I guess I am glad that I'm so far not enjoying it. Because if this was a good whiskey that I was really liking, I'd be like, no, I'm just not going to ice it. Not going to do it. No, sir. Not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute so I can get my ice chunks.
Still a great nose. Not the best nose of the three with ice in my. Wow. Does it taste funny? You can tell me when your drool gets
Not
wiped
yet.
off.
Fire in the hole.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
speaking of which, on your when you guys leave us a review, feel free to tell us things. Like on our Chili's episode, someone said maybe Robby could do the ice thing off mic, and I did. I took that feedback, and that's what I do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The funny thing is if that listener were to watch YouTube, would he say visual too?
Wow, it is all over you. Pants now, yeah.
Yeah, peeing your pants is the coolest.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Mara and I watched that this week. Did I tell you we watched this? We talked about this. We watched that this week. She's like, I go, Mara, you like the movie? She goes, it's just kind of a lot of dumb stuff. I'm like, yeah. And that's what I liked when I was younger. And I still love it. What about you, Sideburns? You want some Rebel 10? I'd rather have a beer. But this ain't the podcast for you. All right, nose is good with ice. Muted. Did you see that guy's bubble gum? Yeah, it was weird. I will say, I don't know why or how, but Amara's impressed every time we watch like one of those old SNL movies from the 90s, and I'll just quote the whole thing. She's like, how do you know that? And I think the real question is, why do you remember that? And I don't know. Because I loved it. I think I saw Dumb and Dumber in theater. 8 times. I loved that movie. It's a hard one. Sound it out.
That's the.
So I'm getting is still like that extra bubble gum. The brand, not extra like in the rap game sense.
Super bubble gum.
Oh geez. I got weird floaters in my eyes, my whiskey too.
Story of my life. Oh, really? Like things hanging out in there?
Yeah, there's like it kind of looks like the top of a pond. You know when you get those like things that look like fish poop?
Yeah. Well, live and you learn. Clean out the ice machine now.
All right.
That's so funny.
Well, this ice
I can't
is
wait
best
till
so far.
I can't. Oh, really? On the palate?
It's not great, but it's okay. It's more. It's kind of.
It's definitely better than the water. I can definitely drink this over the water.
It's bitter, but like that corn nut note, not corn nuts. The nutty corn note comes out.
Yeah.
Towards the end, but it's still not. Yeah, not my thing. Not my jam.
What was I thinking? The
You can't wait.
Yeah, it's overall my notes. No. Overall my notes are it's just lame. Like it's meh with ice, but it's not like it's not bad. Like there's no bitterness or like I could drink it and not spit it out, but like the ice, I mean the water pour, I would like not be able to drink a lot of that for sure. So
pouring
but yeah, I think I preferred the neat on the palate and the finish.
Well, I tell you. Oh, you want to go ratings? Do you want to hop into it?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
I'm going to go, the best was the neat for me, and the nose did something to the score. I'm going to give it a 7.75. I really appreciated the nose, and I think they have something going. It's good. It's not bad to me. It's not. I mean, it is the oakiness was a little too much. That's why I gave it less than 8. But it's like with it, I wouldn't say it's bad with the neat pour. But I know you have a different opinion. So
yeah,
what is your opinion?
I want to give this a 1, just because it's one of those things where I was like, I would drink Floki over this just because Floki's funny. Nothing funny about this, but I'm not going to give it a 1.
That's funny.
Even though I would drink Floki more than over this, I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It's just too earthy, too like there's like nose. Why? If we just went off the nose, I think I would give this. Nose that bubblegum.
Oh, that's a 9+ easily.
Yeah. but it's just there's nothing really redeeming about this other than the nose. And am I glad that I gotta try it? Absolutely, because I might have spent some money on this and realized I don't like this bottle at all. So anyway, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Paul. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Cheers.
What a baller.
I really would like to know. So, like, if you're listening or watching, if you've had this, because it's somewhat accessible, right?
Curious.
Yeah, like I'm sure most of our listeners.
Yeah, it's more accessible than others for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't know about the single barrel, and technically they're all going to be slightly different. You know,
that's true. But if you've had this, I really would like to hear kind of your thoughts and see what you guys are getting out of it. So, please do tell us. So
yeah, let us know. So I guess now that we've given our ratings, it's time to go to our next segment of the show, a segment that we like to call Whiskey World News.
All right, and we're back. And as you can tell by the lighting, we did take a little bit of a walk. It's a little darker, a little calmer, a little cooler. And it's time part of the show that's a little darker at times. Whiskey Lake, whatever that world news was, a little calmer. The best weighted whiskey blankets article we never read but should happen, and a little cooler. We're always friggin' cool around here. Part of the show we call Whiskey World News. Part where we read an article we talk about. Gonna read. Here it goes. This one comes from Tasting Table, written by Natasha Bailey, and it's titled "Why Your Water Temperature Matters When Mixing with Whiskey." Your water temperature matters. There is technically no wrong way to enjoy a glass of whiskey, according to Johnny Walker, but there are a few elements to consider when crafting your drink experience. While neat or on the rocks are both common ways to consume the spirit, some people look to dilute their glass of whiskey with much like they would ouzo or raki before drinking. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, why do people want to dilute the drink? Well, Cooks Illustrated claims that after conducting some research, the outlet discovered that simply adding water to your whiskey dilutes the alcohol, thus reducing the overwhelming burning sensation and allows the natural flavors of the booze to develop on the palate. As for how much water you should be adding to your glass, the Barrel Mill says that it's all about personal preference. You should begin by adding water in small amounts to your glass and taste testing along the way until you feel as though you've hit the sweet spot. But how much water you use is just as important as the temperature of the water you pour into your whiskey. Both hot and cold temperatures have a large effect on the taste of food and drinking. According to Food and Wine, just imagine a lukewarm cup of coffee. That's my favorite cup of coffee.
Is it?
I like room. Yeah, I like it tepid. I like to be able to chug it if I want to chug. I don't want to be burned.
Cold for that reason, but not like too cold.
Well, I love cold brew. Summertime, cold brew. Here we go.
If it's decaf, I'm in.
So, of course, the temperature has the same effect on whiskey. Yeah, because whiskey and coffee are the same thing. Assistant Master Distiller for Woodford Reserve, Elizabeth McCall, tells us when the liquid is cold, we taste fewer flavors than when it is warm. Therefore, the temperature will greatly affect how much or little nuance you get to your whiskey. Rory Glasgow, North American Single Malt Scotch and Whiskey Ambassador, insisted that our taste buds pick up flavors best between the temperature of 59 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Whiskey Wash affirms assessment recommendations that if you want to enjoy the deep, complex flavor whiskey profile, you must drink your whiskey at room temperature or a little warmer, 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. What is room temperature to the Whiskey Wash? 60 to 65?
Yeah.
I think
that's cold.
That's like in the summertime.
You must live in Canada.
Yeah. Nino, where you live, Mr. Marchetti.
Yeah, where you live in, Nino.
I would think like 70 is a typical.
Yeah, 72.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Like that's probably typical modern world.
Unless you're Nino Marchetti.
Yeah.
Kilgore
Marchetti. If your drink is particularly cold for one reason or another, add some warm water and taste the flavors as they expand. You'll be able to pick up more of the drink's other characteristics. But if you're indulging whiskey on a particularly sweltering day, you're worried about your drink getting too warm. A splash of cold water should bring it to ideal temperature. And that's that. Cole, what are your thoughts on the effect of the temperature of the water you add to your whiskey?
Maybe we should add, we'll have the neat pour and we'll have the cold water pour and then we'll have the lukewarm water pour and then we'll have the room temperature water pour and then we'll do ice. No, I mean, like, here's the thing. The thing that really caught my attention was Cooks Illustrated, who I respect a ton as a, like, I love cooking things.
That's
and they're
where
like,
I get all of my news.
Oh, yeah. They're like, they test all, it's like America's Test Kitchen, basically. It's like,
if they don't cover it, I don't read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fake news
and I
otherwise.
love their channel and I love their like literature and like all that kind of stuff. So they put out some good stuff. So I trust them in a way. And I'll have to try it. I'll have to like try the same pour with cold water and like warmer water. See if it makes any big difference. But I mean, it's similar to like just drinking with ice versus like our lukewarm or room temperature water normally. So makes a difference.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we do on this podcast, which I think a lot of podcasts don't do, which I think doesn't make us better, but it differentiates us where we do it room temperature. Yeah, I'd say like 65 degrees. Like my house is like never gets like 65 degrees is my low in the winter. And summertime, my low is like 70. I'll set the thermostat to 70 in the nights.
Okay.
So, but then we add water that is room temperature, which just dilutes, probably doesn't change anything because it's the same temperature as our sample bottles. But then we add ice, and ice will lower the temperature, which we have noted scientifically by saying it made it colder. So
weird.
A lot of times when we add ice, it mutes a lot of things. So you do get less flavor, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They need to cover Japanese whiskey
and Irish whiskey
because ice usually makes it better.
Yeah, it can.
Riddle me that.
Cooks Illustrated.
That's all I got to think. Should we move on?
Yeah. Do you have a whiskey world news? Because if you don't, I do. I mean, what whiskey would you choose? Because I do if you don't.
Okay, you got it. I'll do the last week's results. Here we go. So last week we said you can go anywhere and drink anything. Where are you going and what are you drinking? And Cole said he wants to go to Paris and drink Blanton's Paris edition.
Paris by night.
Yeah.
Paris by night.
I think it's just Paris edition.
No, it's like Paris by night.
Okay, whatever it is. You look at that. Paris by night away from here, or something like that.
Okay.
A little Rush. It's Rush. Anyway, Rush. And I said I'm going to go to
not Europe.
Uranus, and drink Mac 18 because that'll get us at $1,000 a month for Patreon. And Cole won.
So get us there, people, listeners.
56 to 44%. And oops! Oh, geez, Louise and God, oh boy, I'm messing stuff up here. Oh, there it is. And it's got some good responses. Dramhan said, Bourbon charity, F cancer fundraiser bottle with my mom.
Nice.
Doesn't matter where. And you know what?
With his mama. That warrior of she is. So
if you can be with any parent at any time and enjoy something with them, and if you're the parent drinking something with your child at anywhere, any point, especially one that makes a difference and means something to you, that might be the winner right there, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, cheers to that, Dramhound.
Cheers to that.
Marco Nazi, George C. Sag at the Chill Filter meetup. Whenever that happens, it's good. It will happen. When I don't know where. It's debatable, but it will happen. It will happen. Miles Ferguson killed a 518. Not very creative, but I'd go back to the Glen Grant Distillery in Scotland and have a drink of everything they have. That sounds great. I'm in. I doubt we're going to have any response where I'm like, blah, I will not drink that and I will not go there. Here we go. Paul Clarkson or P. Clarkson 21, Mr. Paul. Drink Heaven Hill 17 year in a Heaven Hill Rick House.
That sounds legit. From the barrel.
That to me, that's one of those things like maybe someday we'll get to the barrel pick point. I'm sure we might. And if not, we're coming in guns blazing, being like, give us a drink from a barrel.
and then we'll shoot a
Call
barrel
it
and drink from the
assassination
hole.
barrel, and we shoot that same barrel, and anything that they collect, that's the assassination barrel, and it sells for $3,000 per bottle. Because
it'll be like tornado release barrels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Madtown Marketing Big Club, a cozy pub in Ireland with friends. Redbreast 21.
Nice. I'm glad he likes that bottle because it's one of the best.
I'm sharing that with one of my. So you gave me a 2-ouncer of Redbreast 21 just because, and the dregs of my 27 I gave my good friend Chris Kelpin, and I was like, next time you're over, I will. I got some 21. You can try that. So, and that's gonna be Saturday. So 2 days ago. Yeah, so I'm excited to drink that. But yes, delightful pour in a cozy pub. Not even cozy pub, just a pub drinking Redbreast 21.
Any pub.
A back alley drinking Redbreast 21. I'm in.
Still be good, yeah.
Brian Rapp, Claremont, Kentucky Knob 18 uncut straight barrel.
From the barrel.
And then he sent us a message too. I didn't get a chance to read it.
He said, sorry, I didn't know it was like something you had to have already had, like the bottle you already own. I was like, no, that's not the case. I don't have a Blanton's Paris by Night, nor does Robby have a
I've never
Mac
been
18.
to Cole's Anus, and I've never had Mac 18.
So he was good.
John Voldemort Hughes, Embellish Pod, either space whiskey or somewhere my friends are drinking whatever they want. And you know what? Like that is I think
what it's
maybe
all about.
It is just hanging out with friends, having a good drink.
Yeah.
And then the Smoke and Oak, I would say in Scotland at the Balvenie Distillery, enjoying a dram of the 40-year rare marriage. And
ooh, that sounds great.
Balvenie does everything right. And being in Scotland, never been. Stuff. At some point, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I will go together. It too. I would love that.
And
that would
tour.
Be great. Oh, it would be the best tour to get the pour.
We should go to Dewar's while we're at it.
Tour.
And take the tour at Dewar's.
So here's the thing. I was thinking today, like I just said, pour, P-O-U-R, pour, tour,
like tour.
T-O-U-R, your, Y-O-U-R. And I've been saying pour and your. You say your?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say I've been saying those two words wrong all this time. Yeah. It's pour and
pure.
Your.
Sour. Or no, sewer.
Sewer. Those, I love sewer flavored candies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Cole, what do you got for us this week?
So this week on Whiskey Road, or what whiskey would you choose? We're gonna go similar to the Bush's Baked Bean sponsored whiskey, or what whiskey would you choose? And soon it will be.
It is now unofficial.
Yeah, might as well be. We'll just reach out and be like, "Hey, where's our money?"
Our tagline. Yep, that's our tagline. That's our one.
Yeah, but so similar to wow, I almost said similar to what whiskey would you choose? Similar to Whiskey World News, we are going to talk about what is the best pour with ice.
The best pour
in your opinion. I got my answer.
You go for it.
Okay, so Redbreast 12 cask strength. So good with ice. The proof is just enough to where you proof it down and it's still sweeter, more refreshing, more clean and crisp with some ice. It's just perfect. I love a good Irish, and I love a good Irish that does well with ice, and that one is probably the pinnacle in my opinion.
Perfect. I've got a 60-40 chance here on getting this right.
Nice.
Yamazaki 18.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yum 18. It is one of the greatest whiskeys I've ever had. The only whiskey that has surpassed it, in my opinion, is Redbreast 27. And Redbreast 27 is great with ice. It was great with water. It was great neat. But to go to great with water or ice, it was special. Yeah, I'm 18. It was like phenomenal, blow your mind, delicious.
I need to get me a bottle of that. I'd throw down $400 for that.
Mr. Marita.
Hey, yeah, Mr. Marita, and anyone else that finds like a reasonable, like under $400 or so bottle of Yam 18,
or equal
and
to.
I'll let you know.
400 or equal to. That's a mathematical
equal
term.
to, less than or equal to. And then next week we're going to be between two. We didn't talk about this, but I'm just spitting it now.
Cole, you're the
we're going to go between
mastermind.
two Irish whiskeys.
What?
We haven't done Irish in a while, I feel like, since
Cole,
at least Redbreast 27.
It's about to be March. Should we wait?
Maybe we should.
No, unless you got something.
We got plenty. We got at least 3 on deck. So I'm going to put it between Connemara 12-year, which is a peated Irish whiskey, which is pretty cool. And then Gold Spot, which is one of the spot whiskeys from Mitchell & Sons. And it's, I believe Gold Spot is cash strength. Wait, no, I forget. But it doesn't matter. Gold Spot from Mitchell & Sons.
You'll get it right on Pick 2 Tuesday.
Exactly. So keep an eye out, Pick 2 Tuesday, and vote with all your mind, heart, soul, and strength, and we will go forth from there.
Yonder to hitherto, mi amigos.
So I hope by the next time. By the time that our next episode will be out after this one, I will have already done my portion of Matt Madness. So I hope I do well and move forward.
Oh, I hope you've got the certain je ne sais quoi that endears billions of followers to say,
yeah, seriously,
these guys are kind of all right.
These guys
at least half of them are.
These guys are chill and filtered.
And you know what, Cole? You do have the je ne sais quoi, so I don't have to hope for that. I just hope you do. I hope you have fun. I hope the bean pyramid looks nice.
Me too. Well, I hope that you have a good time in Mexico. And most of all, listeners, I hope that our love of whiskey lifted your spirits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With a rebel, yeah. More.